Welcome to another Industry IQ. My name is Isaac, joined by my colleague Matt Stavish here, and we are joined by a great friend of mine, Lewis Rhodes from Manning Welsh and Learning, where he is a GovCon attorney there. Lewis Rhodes, so happy to have you. First question is, why should we get smart on your Industry IQ?
Oh, sure, Isaac. Thanks, and thanks for having me. I work at McMahon Welsh and Learning in Reston. I call us the premier GovCon boutique firm in Reston, Virginia. I say that tongue in cheek, but we're full of industry experts. We're all attorneys who've been here for been practicing law for 15 years and longer. I myself have been a GovCon attorney for 15 years. Before I did that, I spent about 8.5 years on active duty in the Marine Corps, got out, went to school at night, stayed in the reserves. I speak fluent DOD inside out, backwards, have a security clearance. So I have a couple of things in my toolkit that not a lot of attorneys have.
Man, that is quite the background. And you mentioned serving as a Marine. One, thank you so much for your service. But I have an interesting question about that. What are some skills that you learned serving as a Marine that actually still manifests itself now as you serve GovCon clients?
Yeah, well, I mean, we only have 5 minutes. I could go 5 days on that one, right? When once a Marine, always a Marine. We're proud of that. I'm still serving a reserve. I got a couple more months. It's character, it's integrity, it's honor, it's hard work, it's how to be a team, it's how to work under pressure, all those things. But where it really plays for my clients is I understand the DoD mindset. I understand it very well. I understand it from the customer side. Having all those years of service, all those years in uniform, when my client runs into issues, especially in a DoD environment, I often know what the issues are and what the customer is thinking, and that really pays off for my clients quite a bit.
Lewis, what are the most common engagements you're seeing in the GovCon small business community? Where are people seeking out your counsel, and what's on the market?
Of late, one of the hottest topics has been the COVID vaccine mandate, right? I mean, and that's a perfect example for the type of practice that I have. Something new comes down, the government requires you to do something, you have questions, pick up the phone and call me. There's been a lot of questions like, what's a religious accommodation mean? Do I have to get it vaccinated? If my employee is not vaccinated, can I fire him? Do I have to fire him? Like all those types of questions. And obviously that's getting even murkier because we had the court stop it, then the court stopped the OSHA one, then the court restarted the OSHA one, and we're waiting to see on an appeal on the GovCon one. So that one's been a hot mess. But it's really indicative of the type of work that I do, where I do a lot of regulatory counseling to my clients.
Yeah, thanks, Lewis. And you mentioned all these requirements, the government's laying out, and being compliant is everything. Everywhere I go, it's like, are you compliant? DCA, CMC, like trying to prevent someone to have a bid protest against you. So what are some effective steps that a company could take, and just to know where to start with all that? Because there's so many things that they might miss between the cracks here and there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And compliance is a dirty word in the government, right? Because you hear it and it's used in a lot of contexts, right? DCAA is an accounting compliance. CMMC is an IT network compliance. Well, there's also ethics and compliance with a capital C, which is you need to make sure you're doing everything right on the ethical front. And now I've helped steer clients through the CMMC stuff. I helped to do the NDAA a couple of years ago, had the no goods made in China changes to the FAR, a lot of that compliance. Part of my in-house experience was as an ethics and compliance officer, and that was something I really took seriously. And my biggest advice to clients is don't mail that stuff in. You can do compliance easy, or you can do compliance right. You can't do it both. Doing it easy may work until it doesn't. So I always say, put the work in, do the training, teach your people, because even though it's a hassle to do it that way, the first time you make a mistake on a compliance level, the cost of that mistake is gonna be, astronomical. So keep it simple, but keep it effective, and dot all those I's and cross all those T's.
Lewis, thank you so much for your time. That's another wrap for an Industry IQ. But again, my name is Isaac Ellsworth, joined by my colleague Matt, and this was Lewis Rhodes, guys, from McMahon and Welsh and Learning. Thank you so much for your time, Lewis.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.